Hello and happy Tuesday afternoon to you. This is First Alert Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Russ Thomas. Hope you're having a wonderful day so far. We do have that First Alert weather day in effect for our westernmost areas. We've seen our winds pick up this afternoon. Again, just right in the western fringes of the Devil's Lake Basin, James River Valley, and we're talking about wind gusts in some areas of 30 plus. Now, more impact is in the central and eastern part of the state once we head toward Minot, Bismarck, Dickinson for sure, but again, still encompassing that westernmost edge. Humidity value is low, wind gusts are high. Now tomorrow we'll see a transition to most of the region, including easternmost North Dakota, Red River Valley, and just about all of western Minnesota. So again, First Alert weather day today for those westernmost areas, tomorrow for the rest of the region. And again, winds are going to be strong. We're going to see low humidity values, which we'll show you in just 1 second. Right now, they want to give you the First Alert weather day information here. So we're going to pop this up full screen. Again, this afternoon and then again tomorrow late morning through early evening, we've got those First Alert weather day time periods there. What is the issue? Well, strong winds, low humidity equals fire danger. That potential out there for fires to burn out of control. Again, mentioned western areas today. All areas on our Wednesday. Take a look, and again, take a look at these regions here. If you're in that area shaded in yellow, that is where we have the First Alert weather day for you for those fire weather concerns we just discussed. Take a look at our wind forecast, and what you're seeing is very quickly winds begin to die out later this afternoon, certainly by 8 this evening. So that's when that potential concern that we have goes away. Now, we're still going to see wind gusts in the 15, 20, 25 mile per hour range at times in some areas. So a little breezy out there, but again, the wind's not strong enough to be as much of a concern there with fire danger. Take a look at our humidity forecast this afternoon. Notice we are seeing in Carrington 38%, Langdon 38% humidity, Rolla 28%. So once we start, by the way, Valley City as well, 36% humidity. So those are the levels we look at when we start talking about, okay, what are the numbers, what are those thresholds for fire concern? What we're showing is that, or what we're telling you is that in terms of the wind speed, that's typically about 30 plus mile per hour wind speeds, and we're talking about humidity generally in those 20s, 30% range, maybe as high as the low 40% range. Once the humidity values get above that, that's when we start to lose that concern for fire issues there. So we're going to go ahead and move on to our next graphic and focus on our Wednesday. So here's what we've got for you. Again, First Alert weather day for the areas shaded in yellow, which is most of the region, as you see there, southeast North Dakota, northeast South Dakota, all of western Minnesota in our region, as well as the Red River Valley and much of eastern North Dakota. What do we have for you? Take a look at our wind gusts. Notice they pick up. You saw that period there where we were looking at numbers in the orange, or I should say the color orange, indicating for the better part of the afternoon, wind gusts of 30 to maybe 40 plus miles per hour. We'll take a look at Fargo and Grand Forks that we're expecting for you in just a second for tomorrow. By the time we hit the evening hours, though, those winds will subside. Here's what we've got for you. Again, this is for our Wednesday. Again, we start looking at those thresholds we just mentioned. We're talking about, we start looking at wind gusts 30 plus miles per hour. It is very dry out there. It has been very warm out there as well. And then we factor in that humidity, looking at mainly low 40% and below. We get all that criteria. That's what we have that First Alert weather day. That's why we have that potential fire issue. Wind gust in Fargo tomorrow, really from mid-morning all the way through late afternoon. We're looking at south winds gusting to low to mid-30s. So again, we're going to keep an eye on that for you. As far as what we've got for you in Fargo, looking at the same thing, or Grand Forks, I should say, from early to mid-morning all the way through late afternoon, those wind gusts are going to be in the mid, maybe even upper 30s at times. Now, while the winds are going through the better part of the day, we also have to factor in humidity. When we look at the humidity, really starts dipping about 1, 2, 3 in the afternoon. Typically about 3 to 5, 3 to 6 o'clock is when we have our lowest humidity values. That's why our biggest concern comes during those afternoon windows. Take a look, 4 o'clock tomorrow. We've got a humidity of 34 projected in Fallston, 36 Park Rapids, 38 for Fargo, Detroit Lakes, Wadena. That's why we have that concern tomorrow for the potential fires burning out of control should we have any. Now you look farther west, the areas that are in the focus today for us, the humidity values are higher tomorrow. So again, that's why the bigger concern is today and not tomorrow for those westernmost areas. So all that said, next weather maker, here's what we've got. Again, cold front approaching, not really going to push into the region though. It's going to be pushed away by the strong southern winds there. You can see wind gusts tomorrow. You see those green arrows. That indicates wind speeds of 30 plus miles per hour in some areas. So again, watching that. Notice how that cold front just not enough push to make it into the region by Wednesday evening. Here's what we've got for Fargo for Wednesday. Starting at 67, a very mild start. You see wind gusts throughout the day really in the low to mid 30s, maybe gusting higher than that at times. Going to see a high temperature of 84 degrees under a partly cloudy sky. Lows, as mentioned, well above the norm for this time of year. Low 60s, mid 60s, even a couple of upper 60s out there for lows for the first day of October. High temperatures on our Wednesday. Upper 70s to mid 80s. 84 Fargo, 83 Grand Forks and Wapaton, 80 Detroit Lakes, Jamestown, Valley City. You get the idea. They're going to be very warm for this time of year. Now we're going to jump ahead to our Friday and the weekend. That brings our next chance of rain. Now I will say that as we approach Friday afternoon and evening, just a few scattered showers mainly in the northernmost regions. Can't rule out a shower anywhere across the region, but I will say the best focus is going to be northernmost locations, and I can tell you that it's just a few scattered showers. Jumping into Saturday, yeah, looking at a few scattered showers again, but by and large going to be a drier day. Then we look at Saturday night into Sunday and Monday, into Sunday morning and Sunday afternoon, I should say. Notice good opportunity for rain across the entire region. So it looks like Saturday night through Sunday brings the best opportunity for rain across much of the region. At this point, it is much needed rain. Once we get into Monday, we're going to start to see drier conditions once again. So here we go. Next chance of rain, low chances Friday and Saturday, about 20%. Saturday night into Sunday, much better chance of seeing rain showers, going about 60 to 70% during that time period. Again, because it's been so dry, because of the wind, because of those temperatures, we do need some rain at this point, certainly by the time we get to the weekend, so that will be welcome. Now beyond that, looking ahead, the next 3 to 4 days, much warmer than normal still, taking a big dip there from Saturday through Sunday. And look what happens after that. Next week, our temperature's still going to be above norm, but not too far off the norm. And look what our average temperatures are from the 5th through the 11th. We're sitting in the low 60s to even upper 50s for the average for Fargo by the time we get to October 11th. So when we're talking about still being above the average during that time frame, what we're saying is if the average is, let's just say 62 down to 59 during that stretch, above average, mid 60s, upper 60s, and that's what I think we're looking at next week. So the transition goes from 80s this week, mid 80s to low 80s by Friday and the weekend, by Saturday. Then we jump into Sunday, take a big dip down into the 60s. Next week we're looking at highs in the mid 60s, generally dry, though I think later next week we'll have another chance of showers. But again, we're going to be above the norm, but it's going to feel much more like fall. So I keep mentioning this, but if you like the 80s, hold on, because we have about 4 more days, and then it looks like we're done with that. We take that dip all the way down into the 60s. If you like the 70s, it looks like Saturday might be the day for you. Then we go into the 60s on Sunday and beyond. So I think once we get past Friday, Saturday, we're done with the warmest of warm temperatures. We're there kind of at the beginning of October, and we're starting to transition to what we'd expect to be more seasonal for this time of year. So if you're looking forward to 60s, then you're going to really like what happens starting Sunday and through much of next week. Hope you have a wonderful evening.